Hello, my name is Tammy Medlin, and thank you for joining me for Wilson County Negro Library 1943 to 1964. Today we're going to take a look back at this historic institution and its role in the African American community in Wilson County. In 1943, the Mary McLeod Bethune Civic Club decided to open a library for African Americans in Wilson County. The ladies began raising funds, and Dr. D.C. Yancey donated space for the library above his drugstore. On January 15, 1944, the following announcement appeared in the Wilson Daily Times. Public Library for Colored. The Negro Women's Civic Club announces the opening of a public library for colored people. The idea for this was advanced by the junior organization of the Civic Club, but because of the wide scope of such a project, it was decided that the senior and junior groups would work in collaboration, with the result, the idea of a library is no more a dream, but a long hoped for reality. It is interesting to note that the Wilson County Public Library was begun by the Women's Club of Wilson in 1921. Let's hear it for the ladies. The library opened with just over 300 books on its shelves, a few newspapers and magazines, which included Popular Mechanics and Popular Science. The library was open for 18 hours a week. It would remain in this location until 1948. From the beginning, the library wanted to reach people who lived out in the county as well as those who lived in the city. To do this, they enlisted the help of two people, Jane Boyd, the Negro Home Demonstration Agent, and C.W. Foster, the Negro Farm Agent, who was also a member of the library board. These were people who, as part of their jobs, would travel around the county to people who lived in rural areas, helping them improve ways to make money and provide food for their family. They would take the librarian with them to the different home demonstration clubs and the farms. The home demonstration and farm agents not only took the librarian with them on their rounds to farms, but also to the schools, many of which did not have their own libraries. Schools visited including Williamson, Yelverton, and St. Alphonsus Catholic School, who, quote, requested a loan of books on the elementary level concerning the black man. By 1947, the library had outgrown its quarters above the drugstore, and plans were made to move it to 115 North Pender Street in the same building as the Mount Hebron Masonic Lodge. As you can see from these plans, the library was located on the left side of the building, and the lodge was on the right. Space is marked out for a workroom, a bathroom, a children's corner, and a display window. Renovations had to be done to the building before the library could move in, but World War II had made such supplies scarce, so the library did not actually open in this location until 1948. As you can see from this photo, the new quarters were quite an improvement. This is the Board of Trustees of the library in 1948. Clockwise from left, Willie Mae Freeman, Carter Foster, Anna Johnson, D.C. Yancey, Barbara Foster, James Woodfield, Elizabeth Jenkins, who was the librarian, G.K. Butterfield Sr., and William Hines. At the open house held to celebrate the library's opening at its new location, Willie Mae Freeman, the chairman of the Board of Trustees, remarked, "During the 4 years of its existence, the library has struggled to serve you. It is the hope of all connected with the library that this is now the real beginning of service to you as its patrons." After the library moved to Pender Street, clubs and other local organizations began to hold meetings there, including the Book and Garden Club, the Brownies, and the Girl Scout Leaders Club. If you look in the photo below, you can see that Miss Freeman and Miss Anna Johnson, both members of the Board of Trustees, were members of the Book and Garden Club. The library board, staff, and volunteers wanted to make it clear that everyone was welcome, and on August 16, 1949, the following announcement appeared in the Daily Times. All farmers and their families are invited to visit the library while in town selling their tobacco. Come in and see the library and browse a while, even if you do not care to take a book with you. Use your library. Your taxes pay for it. And they did, although begun by the Civic Club, by this time the library was receiving funds from the state of North Carolina, the city of Wilson, and the county of Wilson. Negro History Week began in 1926, and every year the library tried to sponsor a program, some of which were held at Darden High School. And in 1949 they had a very important guest, Langston Hughes, to speak tonight. Langston Hughes, noted Negro poet, will lecture here tonight at 8:15 o'clock in the Darden High School auditorium. The Wilson County Negro Library is sponsoring Mr. Hughes' appearance in Wilson in exhibits of National Negro History Week. Money raised from Hughes' lecture went into a fund to purchase a bookmobile. In his article in the Chicago Defender on February 26, 1949, Mr. Hughes describes his visit to, quote, the bright and inviting little library on Pender Street, where Mrs. Jenkins had assembled a beautiful Negro History Week exhibit, end quote. Now we know Negro History Week as Black History Month. The fundraising campaign was successful, and librarians and home demonstration and farm agents no longer had to haul heavy loads of books in cars. In 1950, the library was able to purchase a bookmobile, which was dedicated in February 1951. Left to right are Ms. Azalea Cohen, Mrs. Matilde Gay, and Ms. Mary L. Wright. Between January and March 1951, 8,745 books were circulated from the bookmobile. This is compared to 2,092 books checked out from the library during the same time period. This was from a library that started with 322 books. As you can see from the above photo, the library was popular with children as well as adults. By the end of the 1950s, the library had a larger bookmobile and loaned records as well as books and magazines. Every month, it also had a collection of 6 film strips that could be checked out to clubs and other local organizations. The 1950s and 60s were the golden age for the Negro Library, a reward for all the hard work that had been done in the 1940s. In June 1964, the Wilson County Negro Library merged with the Wilson County Public Library and was renamed East Branch. In 1966, the library moved to 205 South Pender Street. The following announcement appeared in the Wilson Daily Times on September 12th of that year. Quote, with a full schedule of services starting today, open house was held yesterday at the new location of the East Branch of the Wilson County Public Library at 205 South Pender Street. In the photo, left to right, Ms. Mary Peppers, owner of the building, Miss Katie C. Barnes, branch librarian, and Miss Nancy Gray, librarian of the Wilson County Public Library. What the caption does not tell you is that the open house was hosted by the Mary McLeod Bethune Civic Club. History had come full circle. Today, East Branch is located at 6000 C Ward Blvd, and I am happy to announce it will reopen April 15th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. Thank you for joining me for a look back at the Wilson County Negro Library. Special thanks to Black Wide Awake, a blog by Lisa Henderson, and the Oliver Nestus Freeman Roundhouse Museum. Both are great resources for anyone looking for information on Wilson County's historic African American community.